Fat Joe is facing criticism for his pathetic attempt to go viral. You see, it's easy to make jokes on Joe Budden because Joe Budden ain't a street nigga. So Fat Joe is looking like, man, this man got the top podcast. He kind of soft. He ain't fucking with the crack. So you know what? Let me aim at him and get my new podcast with Jadakiss, Joe and Jada off the ground and started with a little bang, a little bit of controversy. But the problem is, you can't make it that obvious. We've seen the play from a mile away. And I'm gonna be honest, man, I already wasn't fucking with Fat Joe. Yeah, I wasn't fucking with Fat Joe after the comment he made about the foundational black Americans.
Who are these guys?
You want me to say a name? We're gonna give them too much clout.
I mean,
the FBA, Foundational Black Authority, whoever the fuck these broke niggas is.
Because he disrespected a heritage of following that he has nothing to do with. But he's had everything to benefit off of our backs. You know, the same way that the FBAs were taken advantage of, we set the foundation in America. We built this country, and other racists capitalized off of our back. It's the same thing Joe did when he jumped into the rap game because we started this shit. And then he want to disrespect us and call us broke. Nigga, you owe us everything that you got in your pockets, my nigga. But that was just a rant. Now, Fat Joe disrespected Joe Budden, trying to make a viral moment. But in order for you to understand that, we got to rewind to the beginning because this has everything to do with 50 Cent and Joe Budden having their own issues a month or so ago. And this started when Irv Gotti died. And 50 Cent made a lot of jokes that rubbed people the wrong way because that was his mortal enemy. And Joe Budden decided that he was going to speak out on his podcast, and he said, yo, 50 Cent really needs therapy. He needs to seek some help. And 50 Cent didn't like that. So 50 Cent started talking about how last year in December that Joe Budden caught a case because he was allegedly sleepwalking butt naked in his apartments. And he tried to go into somebody else's house. These people reported that to the authorities. And 50 Cent, of course, was poking some fun at him. But what 50 Cent did to Joe Budden was kind of a little bit over the line. In Joe Budden's eyes, he's saying, yo, you're putting AI pictures of me on Instagram of me in my underwear trying to joke and say that I'm sleepwalking. That's why I draw the line. And when I do get tired of what you're doing, just know that my lawyers will be contacting your team, Fifth.
50 been posting me for 7 days in a row. Fucking what else happened? I have a problem with it. We getting lawyers involved. Like, what you want me to do? Because that's illegal. But
illegal?
Yeah, you can't take all these AI pics and just start. That's what Shorty is going to court for. Mm-hmm. Can't do that. But I don't have a problem with it, and I think that's corny. And that's 50. I got all the respect in the world from. But if I get tired of it and it stops paying, then yeah, it's lawyer time.
And we all know that Joe Budden is ranked the #1 strip club attendee in the state of New York. And that's very predictable. So when Joe went to a spot called Mermaids, deep in the gutters, I think it's in the Bronx somewhere where the craziest people stay at. I don't know nothing about the Bronx, but I heard it's a little crazy. Apparently 50 Cent had a chick working on the inside. And she said, Fifth, you are right. Joe's here. Send the cavalry. And 50 Cent allegedly sent many men to put hands and feet on Joe Budden. But Joe Budden sniffed the play out like a dog, a bloodhound. He said, yeah, there's something going on. Let me get out of here. And Joe Budden left. And 50 Cent will put up a post on Instagram and say, hey, Joe, why'd you leave Mermaids so early, my nigga? I just wanted to talk. Well, things would get quiet for a little bit, and then the Knicks would make the playoffs. Why are the Knicks relevant? Well, we know that MSG is one of the most treasured places in the world right now. Everybody's going there. They saying it's like $54,000 for a front row ticket. They got like a star row, a famous lane. All the celebrities in New York go there. And the day that Joe Budden got some second row tickets, apparently 50 Cent had some first row tickets. Now, the universe is a crazy place. God don't make no mistakes. God is a funny man sometimes. He has a sense of humor, because out of all the places these two could have sat, they sat right in the same vicinity. Joe Budden sat in the same seats, one row behind. And that would send Twitter on a frenzy. Everybody would be like, oh my God, Joe Budden, 50 Cent, they're right behind each other. What's going on? Oh, Joe, you scared. You better run. You gonna get beat up. When in actuality, if you're a mature adult, you know that niggas ain't acting up inside of MSG. Don't nobody want to get banned from MSG. They want to see the games. They want to have a future. We know that. 50 Cent has common sense. But you knew 50 Cent was going to troll. You knew Joe Budden was going to wait till his podcast. Hey, man, no harm, no foul. Now, the problem really was that where 50 Cent was sitting in the front row, Fat Joe was sitting next to him. And that's how all of this connects for the outrage that Fat Joe is receiving. Now, I already peeped the play that Joe was trying to go viral, Fat Joe that is, on his podcast, when he was talking about how he's a serial glizzy eater. And we know a New York podcast, that was going to be real plausible. He was trying to, he was really trying to start the podcast off with a bang. I understand.
Hey, I'm coming back. I'm coming anyway.
Yeah, you got to.
I'm a serial glizzy eater. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa.
No, I'm telling you, pause.
Yo,
Pause.
Whoa, go.
Pause.
Whoa.
Pause.
Yo, come on.
Pause.
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 Everything was going smooth.
Hold up.
What
Listen.
is this? Yo,
Hey.
So somehow the conversation would get to what role you like to sit in at an event. And Joe was explaining how he likes to only sit on the first row because he doesn't want to be around his enemies. I don't know the logic, and I think that that's a flawed logic. And I really think that maybe that's a way of him saying, like, I got more money. I don't want to get caught looking broke. But to me, it's just all stupid. But we'll break this down. Let's take a look.
On 5 row, I gotta be front row.
So you want all the
Cause somebody you don't like, your enemy, gonna come sit right. You know, it's that we call that the Joe Budden seats. You know them second row.
I don't even got
You
a
ain't got a
hood.
hoodie.
I don't even got a hood.
Yo, listen, them second, third row, that ain't. I can't do it. I gotta sit front row. I'll give you my experience.
What do you call them seats?
The Joe Budden seats.
Only Fat Joe would try to make the second row seat sound poor, and then he would refer to it as the Joe Budden seats. Those seats probably cost more than the average American makes per year. And you're not gonna shame me because I'm not sitting first row, I'm sitting second.
Them shit second row. You know, perfect example. Him and 50 got some shit, and I'm sitting courtside, and 50 comes
He was
sit.
right behind y'all.
Okay, but he's behind us.
Those were still considered floor seats.
Those
if you
are-
know
are they?
anything.
Listen,
I didn't know that.
It's AA and BB.
I'm not
He
trying
was
to be
in-
disrespectful, but the man had a little something going on with 50, and why God put 50 Cent front row, and he's in like third row. Like, that would bother me if I was Joe Budden's.
See, Fat Joe, you're telling on yourself. And you're really about to tell on yourself. We're gonna get there, but it's giving me insecurity. You feel me? I seen Quavo and Chris Brown sitting next to each other and then diss each other months later, talking about why I oughta. Listen, man, when y'all are at these events, y'all know to be on y'all best behavior. That nigga Joe Budden did not look bothered. I know people wanted to make it seem like that, but we also saw them talking to each other. It was never that serious. Their beef was not that serious.
It happened to me before. It happened to me before. When we
Now
just
listen,
squashed
if he
the
didn't
beef.
bump in the fifth, would he had a nice experience?
You got a
at-
good seat, but the problem is you got to always expect the enemy might come front row.
Yo, what he,
No,
What are you thinking?
This man is
Trying
funny,
to tell you the
bro.
truth. The enemy will come front row. Look what happened to Joe Budden.
Fat Joe once claimed that he was so much of a street nigga that he lined up 30 people in his high school gym and ran into each person's pockets one at a time. So any seasoned street nigga that we feel like is lying anyway, but any seasoned street nigga who instills that much fear in people should not be fearing the fact that, one, I'm going to a Knicks game and I might run into a op. Second of all, if you was a real live street nigga, you would rather be in the second row than the first row. And that's what I'm not getting. I'd rather have somebody that I don't like sitting in front of me so I can peep off movements rather than me sitting in the front and him sitting behind me. Let's use our critical and logical thinking, Fat Josepher.
That's the only example you can give me.
I'm going to give you another one.
Okay.
I went to a Babyface concert.
Yo.
Hold up.
All right, let me hear it.
I gotta hear it.
Let me hear it.
I'm going to a Babyface concert. Once again, 50 Cent is the culprit. We just squashed the beef for 50 Cent. Everybody's cool. I'm in the second row. Natina got me the tickets. I'm second row. The man come and sit in the front row right in front of me. Yo, Crack, what's up? Yo, hi, Mrs. Crack. I was like, oh, never again.
Fifth?
Yes!
And there we have it, people. Fat Joe is projecting his fear of 50 Cent on Joe Budden. Now you got the name of the seat right halfway. They not the Joe Budden seats. You the original OG of the fear of 50 Cent. Those is the Fat Joe seats. And now every time that you want to book a seat, you say, I can't get first because I think I might run into 50 Cent. That's exactly what you just said. So this isn't about Joe Budden. This is about Fat Joe. Yeah, Fat Joseph, you're the nigga that's scary now if you ask me. I think that nobody thinks like this. I think that this is just you trying to go viral, trying to get the people going and talking like we doing right now and get your podcast on the map. Tomorrow we know Joe Budden, he drops his podcast. Will he respond? Will he not? I don't know. I'm here to see it. But to me, it just sounds like a crock of bullshit what you spewing, my boy.
It's this fifth, then.
No, he's just like, it's him. I'm telling you, he might be like, yo, where Jada at? Third row? 3C? He'll come to 1C. I'm telling you. This guy is notorious for this. I learned my lesson that.
Yeah, man. I don't know what to say about Fat Joe. I mean, if you think that the first row is like some type of bulletproof glass that separates the second and third row from somebody, then you go ahead and be my guest. But anybody with common sense know if a nigga want to touch you, he gonna touch you. Pause. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Do y'all think Fat Joe is tripping? Do y'all think that there's a Joe Budden seats? Do y'all think it's a Fat Joe seats? Do you think that this all is a bunch of nonsense? Do y'all want Joe Budden to respond to the nonsense? Do you want him to respond to the something? I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think down below, man. Like, share, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell. And we out, baby. Boom! Big Just LaFlare.
It's him.